There comes a sacred, silent moment in a woman's life when the scaffolding of her world, the people she depended on, the voices she trusted, the hands she held for balance, begins to fall away. Piece by piece, it crumbles until the noise fades into a profound silence, and she finds herself standing on ground that feels terrifyingly alone. But what if this solitude is not a sentence? What if this emptiness is not abandonment? My sister, sometimes being alone is not a punishment. Sometimes it is the most profound invitation you will ever receive. It is the beginning of a holy transformation. Because when a woman has no one left but God, she stands on the precipice of discovering a strength, a resilience, a fierceness of spirit she never knew she possessed. A strength that was always there, waiting in the depths of her soul. For the moment, the world went quiet enough for her to hear it roar. I want to share a message of faith, resilience, and divine empowerment. This is for every woman who is fighting a battle in silence, for every woman who has been abandoned, betrayed, overlooked, underestimated, yet still wakes up to try again. Stay with me for the next 12 minutes because this might be the message your heart has been waiting for. Today, I am speaking directly to your heart, a message of unwavering faith, quiet resilience, and divine empowerment that rises from the ashes of what was. This is for every woman listening who is fighting a battle in silence, whose tears soak her pillow at night, but whose smile greets the morning. This is for the woman who has been abandoned by a lover, betrayed by a friend, overlooked by a promotion, underestimated by her own family, and yet still finds the courage to wake up and try again. Stay with me, please. Lean in, because these next words might just be the gentle whisper, the confirming nod, the embrace your soul has been desperately waiting for. Being alone doesn't always mean being lonely, but for so many of us, the journey there begins with a searing, breathtaking pain. Maybe it was a relationship you built your dreams upon that shattered without warning, leaving you to gather the shards of a future you can no longer see. Maybe it was a friendship you thought was forged for life, that dissolved into silence and distance, making you question every memory you shared. Maybe it was family, the very people meant to be your safe harbor, who never quite understood the landscape of your heart, leaving you feeling perpetually foreign in the one place you should belong. Or maybe life itself, in its unpredictable tide, simply pushed you into a corner you never wanted to be in, backed against a wall with nowhere to turn. You look around, your eyes scanning the horizon of your life, and the realization lands like a physical weight. The people I thought would stay didn't. The voices I thought would speak up for me are silent. And at first, it hurts. It is a loss that echoes in empty rooms. It feels like a rejection that stains your worth. It feels like something vital, your security, your joy, your sense of belonging has been ripped from your very hands. But let me speak a powerful, life-altering truth over you right now. Sometimes, God lovingly, intentionally removes the crowd, so you can finally, clearly, unmistakably hear the whisper of his voice. He is not isolating you to harm you. He is creating a cathedral of quiet because he has something to say to you that the chaos of other voices was drowning out. When the world becomes a whisper, you start to notice the tender, persistent, life-giving voice of the one who said, "I will never leave you nor forsake you." The one who has been there through every chapter, waiting for you to turn the page and find him there, in the margin notes of your pain. There are things you've cried about that no human ear has heard. There are nights you've spent staring at the ceiling, your mind a storm of anxiety, convinced the dawn would never come to chase the shadows away. There are burdens on your heart, disappointments, fears, secret hopes deferred, that you've carried in absolute silence because you believed deep down that no one would truly understand the weight of them. You've mastered the art of the surface smile, the polite "I'm fine," while inside a quiet earthquake trembles. But God, He saw every single tear that traced a path down your cheek. He collected each one, for they are precious to Him. He heard every prayer, the eloquent ones, the angry ones, the broken, wordless ones you simply wept into your hands. He heard the silent scream of your spirit when you had no breath left to form the words. While people in your life see only the carefully curated gallery of your strength, God is the curator of your soul. He walks behind the velvet rope. He sees behind the curtain you've drawn across your struggles. He sees the battles you're fighting when no one is watching, the battle for peace, for self-worth, for the courage to believe again. He sees the wounds you've bandaged and hidden, and He knows exactly how they happened. He sees the depth of your heart, the beautiful, complex, longing, loving, resilient heart that beats beneath the armor. And here is the stunning paradox. When a woman feels most unseen, most invisible to the world, she becomes most deeply, intimately, and completely seen by God. Here is the glorious, transformative truth. When a woman has no one but God, something sacred begins to stir within her. A change so profound, it rewrites her story from the inside out. It is not an overnight miracle. It is a sunrise. It happens slowly, deliberately, almost imperceptibly at first. Like the first faint light of dawn gently insisting its way through the longest, darkest night. You don't feel strong at first. You just feel the absence of the noise. But in that quiet, God gets to work. He starts tenderly to remove the fear that has been your constant companion, the fear of being alone, the fear of failing, the fear of never being chosen or cherished again. He doesn't yell at your fears. He simply turns on the light, and you watch them shrink into shadows. He starts to heal the wounds, not with a quick bandage, but with the balm of His presence, applying truth to the lies, love to the rejections, purpose to the pain. He starts, brick by brick, to rebuild your confidence, not a confidence built on your performance or others' approval, but a quiet, unshakable assurance built on the rock-solid fact of who He says you are. And piece by precious piece, He reshapes you. He molds you into a woman who is no longer terrified of solitude, because you have discovered that in the quiet, you are in the most profound company of all. You become a woman who knows in her bones that she is never, ever truly alone. This strength you forge in private, on your knees in the secret place, becomes the very strength you will one day walk with in public. It will be in your posture, in the steadiness of your gaze, in the calm of your voice when storms rage around you. The prayers you whisper in the silence, the desperate words you think vanish into the air, are seeds. And those seeds, tended in the soil of faith, become the miracles that others will witness with their own eyes. The faith you build in the furnace of loneliness, a faith that is tested, strained, and proven real, becomes the unshakable foundation for a life you couldn't have imagined from the ashes of the old one. And when God Himself is the architect of your rebuilding, you do not just recover. You do not just survive. You rise, and you rise stronger, wiser, more compassionate, and more powerful than the version of you that fell. Let this sink into your spirit. There is nothing, absolutely nothing, more formidable, more graceful, more radiantly powerful than a woman who knows how to walk with God. When a woman anchors her identity, her worth, her very breath in Him, a revolution happens within her soul. She stops begging for crumbs of love from tables that cannot feed her. She stops chasing the fickle validation of a world that doesn't know her name. She stops shrinking, making herself smaller and quieter to soothe the insecurities of others. Instead, she blossoms. She becomes confident, not in herself alone, but in the one who empowers her. She becomes fearless, not because life isn't scary, but because her trust is in a protector greater than any threat. She becomes unshakable, because her foundation is no longer the shifting sand of human loyalty or opinion, but the eternal bedrock of her Creator's love and promise. Her identity is irrevocably tied to the one who spoke the stars and calls her by name. A woman strengthened by God in the secret place walks differently. Her steps have a new purpose. She is no longer wandering. She is journeying with a destination in mind. She speaks differently. Her words carry weight and grace because they are filtered through a heart aligned with truth. She loves differently, from a well that is so deep and divinely filled that she can love without draining herself. She can forgive without forgetting her worth. She can set boundaries without guilt. And yes, she learns to trust again, not with a naive, unguarded heart, but with a wisdom that knows people are human and may fail. She trusts because her ultimate safety net is not a person, but God. She knows He will never let her soul be destroyed, never let her fall beyond His reach. And that glow, that undeniable peace, that quiet authority that comes from having been in the presence of the divine, it becomes her signature. The very people who once overlooked her, who counted her out, will do a double take. They will look again, wondering what happened, drawn to the light that only time spent with God can give. If you are hearing this right now, with your heart aching or your hope faint, let me tell you, this is not an accident. This is not a random algorithm. This is a divine appointment. Maybe you've been feeling a strange distance, a hollow echo in places that used to be full. Maybe you've been lying awake, asking the ceiling, God, why is this happening to me? Where are you? Maybe you've been waiting, just waiting for a sign, any sign that you are seen, that you are on the right path, that your pain has a purpose. Here is your sign. This is your message. Your answer is this: God has not forgotten you. His silence is not absence. It is often the deepest form of attention. He has not abandoned you. He is closer than your next breath, holding you together even when you feel you are falling apart. He is preparing you.